A man struggles to survive after awakening alone, trapped in a society connected only by primitive computers, where the ability to entertain is his only currency. The film opens with a young man awakening in a dimly lit room, disoriented and unsure of his whereabouts. His attempts to locate an exit lead him only to a toilet and a shower. Growing increasingly desperate, he pounds on the walls for attention, but no response comes. Discovering a computer screen labeled "Share," he experiments with various commands to unlock the door, all in vain. Finally, he reluctantly tries the "Share" command, prompting the computer to start recording him, intensifying his sense of being under surveillance. Despite his pleas for assistance, there is only silence. When he urgently needs water, the computer cryptically responds with 5, leaving him baffled. Frustration mounts as he lies on the floor, resigned to his seemingly inescapable predicament. During his broadcast, a humorous mishap earns him unexpected favor from viewers, who find amusement in his plight. Using accumulated points, he secures water to quench his thirst. As he washes up, he realizes his actions are being observed by real people, who derive entertainment from his every move. Seeking more points for sustenance, he resorts to increasingly zany antics, yet finds his efforts inadequate. Experimenting with random commands, he manages to darken the room before returning to sleep. Prompted again by the computer to "Share," he vents his frustrations before earning points by taking a shower. With these, he orders food, only to receive dog food, which he reluctantly consumes, adopting a dog-like persona to amuse his audience further. Despite earning more points, his attempts to procure proper clothing yield humorous missteps, including female undergarments he models with comedic effect. After enduring hours of despair, he breaks down in tears and sleeps. Upon awakening, he regains composure and engages viewers with gymnastic dances and spontaneous musings, accumulating enough points to purchase essentials like a t-shirt, a mattress, and a mirror. Over time, his point total grows, affording him clothes, grooming tools, quality food, and even alcohol. In a moment of drunken excess, he shatters the monitor with an empty bottle, plunging his room into darkness. Enraged, he attempts to dislodge the monitor from the wall and inspects the food hatch, finding no escape. His frustration boils over as he punches the monitor, injuring himself, before collapsing in a nervous breakdown, pleading for release. Tearfully apologizing to the computer, he begs for another chance, resigning himself to his fate on the floor. Eventually, the computer flickers back to life, revealing an elderly man on the screen who greets him. The elderly man discloses that he too is confined in a similar room, albeit with more items than the protagonist. He explains occasional system glitches and how reaching a certain level grants access to a communal network, enabling communication among prisoners. Initially wary, the protagonist suspects the elderly man of collusion with their captors, but the elderly man reassures him they are all victims, awakening in their cells with no memory of how they arrived. They speculate it might be the work of a prankster named Dobrik. As they converse, the protagonist becomes increasingly irritated by the elderly man's incessant chatter, which garners him points but tests the protagonist's patience. One night, awakened by the elderly man's coughing, the protagonist approaches the computer to inquire about his well-being. During this time, he experiments with random commands and discovers other prisoners, each assigned different channel numbers. His channel is 14, while the elderly man's is 73. They find varied content, such as cooking lessons and makeup tutorials. Channel 14 is particularly drawn to a captivating yoga instructor. As days pass, Channel 14 and Channel 73 bond over conversations, shared meals, and even lessons in magic from the elderly man. At night, the elderly man sleeps while Channel 14 connects with the yoga instructor, occasionally sending her donations. One morning, as Channel 14 works on assembling new furniture, Channel 73 approaches him for a chat. According to the elderly man, maintaining viewer interest requires constant evolution and diversification of content, asserting they must expand and diversify. However, Channel 14 disagrees, believing consistency in their current approach is key to success. Despite his reservations, heeding the elderly man's advice, Channel 14 experiments with new genres like stand-up comedy, workouts, cooking, singing, and magic, attracting a broader audience and earning more points. Using his accumulated points, Channel 14 attempts to purchase medication for his persistent cough, but inadvertently accesses Room 11's live feed, where a woman is showering. Enraged by the intrusion, she accuses him of being a voyeuristic kidnapper. Channel 14 quickly clarifies their shared captivity, joined by Channel 73, and explains their predicament. Room 11, intrigued, asks if they've attempted to escape. Channel 14 admits to past actions that led to punishment. Room 11 suggests analyzing their situation for vulnerabilities in the system, but Channel 73 dismisses her as condescending, abruptly leaving the conversation. Perplexed, Room 11 questions why they were chosen, finding it odd that a company would provide housing and food to strangers. Channel 14 reflects on his own insignificance before being confined, now finding purpose and connection with others. This realization begins to resonate deeply. Channel 14 initiates a puppet show using sock puppets, delighting viewers and earning substantial points. Encouraged by positive feedback, he continues to entertain by teaching humorous drawing lessons, despite his own lack of skill. With his accumulated points, Channel 14 indulges in more furniture purchases, enhancing his living conditions. However, Room 11 reaches a breaking point and proposes starting a revolution against their captivity. This sparks a heated argument among Channel 14, Channel 73, and Room 11, with Channels 14 and 73 convinced that their current situation offers them a chance at a better life. That night, the elderly man's health deteriorates rapidly, culminating in a severe coughing fit and seizure, leaving him paralyzed against the monitor. Channel 14 urgently appeals to subscribers for help, while Room 11 searches for a useful command on the computer. In a desperate mistake, Room 11 inadvertently triggers a command that causes flames to erupt from the walls. Helplessly, they watch as Channel 73 and his room are consumed by fire before the screen abruptly goes blank. Devastated by the tragedy, they observe a period of silence, mourning their loss. One morning, Channel 14 consoles Room 11, reassuring her that she did her best to aid the elderly man, emphasizing that her comment about his channel being fire was not intended to cause harm. To lift her spirits, he stages another puppet show. Eventually, Room 11 confides in Channel 14 her desire to drink, and they decide to order alcohol, reminiscing about their past freedom as they become inebriated. Dancing without music, their emotional connection deepens, leading to a romantic moment. Their intimate interaction is inadvertently broadcasted, resulting in a surge of points. The following day, Channel 14, now aligned with Room 11's earlier plan, addresses their audience live, advocating for unity among the prisoners to uncover vulnerabilities in the system. The death of the elderly man has highlighted the existence of glitches, prompting them to seek freedom collectively. Pointing out the anomalies in the system, Channel 14 suggests that these unknown functions might be used to hack their confinement. Shortly after, Yoga Instructor 28 contacts Channel 14, expressing her approval of his speech. After a brief conversation, she retires for the night, while Channels 14 and 11 begin exploring other channels, heartened by fellow prisoners supporting their quest to uncover glitches. In the next scene, Yoga Instructor 28 starts her yoga session, conversing with Channel 14 about his popularity for bringing smiles, which she considers invaluable. Not as valuable as my bum and tree pose, but still, she jests. Amid their conversation, she invites him to join her yoga session, to which he agrees. However, their moment is interrupted by Elon's directive to get back to work. Over the following days, Elon diligently explores other channels to gather information on the glitches. Eventually, she discovers abilities such as controlling air and moving walls, leading her to conclude that the rooms are located in different places. Inspired, she begins mapping out their confinement, sharing her findings with Channel 14, who seems less enthusiastic than before. Reflecting on Yoga Instructor 28's words about happiness, Channel 14 argues that some prisoners find solace and happiness in their current circumstances, and they shouldn't disrupt that. However, Elon rebels by defiantly cutting her hair that night. Concurrently, Yoga Instructor 28 initiates another late-night yoga session, irritating Room 11, who confronts her about disturbing others' sleep. An argument ensues, with Yoga Instructor 28 accusing Room 11 of treating fellow prisoners like puppets. Hearing the commotion, Channel 14 intervenes, starting to empathize with Room 11's perspective once more. He decides to take action by going live and rallying fellow prisoners to support his cause with a simple point each. A glitch occurs, rapidly increasing his points. Enraged, Yoga Instructor 28 accuses him of theft, escalating the argument. Elon retaliates by triggering a rainstorm inside Yoga Instructor 28's room. Elon enters a command, causing Yoga Instructor 28's room to burst into flames. Moments later, Room 11's room follows suit, echoing the fate of Channel 73 before her, her screen going dark. Witnessing the devastation, Channel 14 collapses to his knees, tears streaming down his face. Suddenly, a door behind him swings open, revealing a bright, sunny day outside. In disbelief, he approaches the door to peer outside, but is interrupted by a beep from the monitor. Returning to address the other bloggers, Channel 14 announces their accomplishment, but his joy is short-lived as the door abruptly closes, trapping him once more inside the room. The end movie. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.